Hello, and welcome to Childcare Resource and Referral, the tool from Insight. I am excited to show you today the Program Profile Manager. So I will be showing you how a program can log into the system, access their profile, add additional information to their profile that will show to the public or remain private and be seen just by the R&R staff. And I'll give you a little display of how the system could connect to other systems in your state. So today we are looking at South Carolina's system, and I will explain as much as I can which pieces are configurable. So you'll see that right now I am logged in as Callie Torres. She is the director of this program, and she signs in as an individual, but has access to this program because she is the appropriate manager for this program called 96 Junction. In this case, Callie is the director of more than one program. So our system is set up to accommodate more than one program being run by the same person. And Callie would only have to log in once to see all of her programs. So she can check here on My Programs and see that she is the administrator for two different organizations, two different childcare programs. And we can look at either one. For now, let's look at 96 Junction. So to begin with, Callie might want to look at her public profile and see whether it's looking good or whether there's more she'd like to change about it. It does have some good information. It includes a philosophy statement, some information about when the program is open, but there are also some sections that are blank and missing key data. She hasn't listed anything about her rates or anything about her openings, it looks like. So we'll check more into those. Back on her profile manager, this is her internal view. You can see on the left, we have several sections. So in the general program info section, information is coming mostly from licensing. So as you can see here, disabled fields have a little icon next to them that indicates that data is being imported from an outside source. So it's really important that we make sure that data is not being duplicated across systems, because if it can be entered in multiple different systems in different ways, then you can end up with contradictory information on different websites or in different databases. So the program name is something that cannot be changed because that information is being imported from licensing. Let me zoom in a little so you can see that better. Similarly, the type of program is not something that can be edited because it too is being imported from the registry rather than from licensing in this case. Also, the program address can't be edited because it's being imported from licensing. So we can set your system up to import from any number of data sources to ensure that data across multiple systems is consistent. Mixed in here, though, is a field that can be updated right here in this system. So for South Carolina, they wanted to be able to tell parents whether the program is located in a church, an employer, a home, etc. So we can enter some data right here. Another example would be website. This is information that's coming from SC Endeavors, the workforce registry. And so it can only be edited in that system. We also have reminders to save. And now if we look in the capacity and enrollment section, we can import data from licensing about the total capacity of a program. In this case, we're importing the actual enrollment of children from the workforce registry, and we can see what age groups are currently being served. That's collected in the workforce registry. And the ages that a program is willing to serve can be manually entered here in this system. And they can enter the minimum age that they're willing to serve. Maybe it is 40 months. and the maximum age they're willing to serve. So South Carolina chose to collect some more detailed information about care schedules, such as whether the program offers drop-in care, overnight care, temporary care, non-standard care, etc. So you would choose what are the important items for you. And if there needs to be additional help text, you can provide that help text and we can add it when it's needed to particular data elements. We can also track times that a program is open. So for example, maybe this program is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from noon to 5. So you can save times like that and they'll show up neatly organized on the profile. So I won't go through all of the data elements, but want you to know that we do have the ability to build these data elements custom to your state's needs. We would spend about 12 weeks with you working on making sure we've identified all of the appropriate data elements and how you want them to work, and also working on importing data from other sources so that as much as possible, programs are not having to double enter information that's already been entered elsewhere. Now let's take a look at rates and assistance. One of the hardest things about collecting rates data is that it needs to be up to date. So you'll see here in our rates, fees, and financial assistance section that the system checks to make sure that the information on rates has been entered recently. So the system is throwing a cautionary flag here, noting that this program has not updated their rates information since a whole year ago. And so the program can say our rates are still good and click on our rates are current, or they can come down here and change the rates to be something else. Let's say that my rates haven't changed, so I can click on our rates are current. Before I do that, let me just note that when you look on the public profile, you'll see that no rates are displaying for this program. That's because we get nervous about rates that are that old. So you'll tell us whether you want to implement a rule like that. But if you don't want to display rates that are more than 6 months old, we can stop displaying rates after they've been sitting for too long unconfirmed. But I will confirm them now. And I'm going to go ahead and also say that I want to display my rates to the public. I'm going to enter a registration fee of $10 and say that's an annual fee is $10 charged on your anniversary. And these can't be checked. We don't allow programs to self-identify as Head Start. That's something that South Carolina is reserving only for administrators. So only an administrator can mark a program as a Head Start. So I'm going to save my profile and reload my public profile. And now you'll see that those additional data elements that I added are now displaying on my public profile. It now shows that I am operating in a single tenant building, and it shows my program's rates listed right here. And it shows that the rates were updated as of May 21st, 2021. So the program can see how recent these rates are. Same thing with vacancies and referrals. If a vacancy was reported a long time ago, chances are it's been filled by now. So we only display vacancies that were somewhat recently entered. So you can see this alert is letting the program know that they need to update this section of their profile. So I can click on our vacancies are current, or I can change the vacancies, get rid of this vacancy, add a different vacancy, and say that I have a vacancy from add that vacancy, click save. And because I've recently updated my vacancies, I no longer get that caution message. And if I pop open a new version of my public profile, it will be updated just that quickly with vacancy data. And a note to the parent that the vacancy data was entered on this date. That's super important for making sure that vacancy information is up to date. Parents can't rely on vacancy information if it's not up to date. So lots of information that can be tracked here. Much of it can be imported from other sources so that programs are not double entering and that they're not entering data that conflicts with data entered in a different system. And if you do use the Insights registry, you'll also be able to integrate more fully. And you'll be able to see here that this program can go to its South Carolina Endeavor's Workforce Registry system with just one click using the same login information. I can leave the R&R site and go to my Workforce Registry account. And I'll be fully logged in and able to edit my organization's profile directly from within the Workforce Registry. Again, from the Workforce Registry, I can go back to the R&R site where I manage my R&R profile. And that is the program profile management portion of the Insight Childcare Resource and Referral tool. Thanks so much for your time. Please check out our other videos.